Welcome back to Urbana Leader. I'm Anthony Ehresmann. We're here with Nancy Zerkle with SALT and Elaine Blanton with VALE. And let's talk a little bit about what VALE does.
VALE stands for, the acronym VALE stands for Volunteers for Adult Life Enhancement. This is basically the first adult guardianship program in Champaign County, so we're very proud of that. I would say there's probably 5 or 6 people that have really stuck with it over the last 10 years. It's taken us 10 years to get this program going, but we finally got it up, got a little funding, got a place to live, and we're on our way.
Where are you located?
We're located at the Tri-County Community Action Building, which is 955 North Main Street, and our number there is 652-2246.
Okay. And is SALT out of the same building, or do you have your
No,
own
we meet
building?
at the library.
You meet at the library?
Every third Wednesday at 1:30 at the library.
And
Everybody is welcome.
Is there a contact number for SALT?
They have you contact the senior center, the Urbana Champaign County Senior Center.
Okay.
Don't know that number offhand. I think it's on
Maybe
that.
it's on the
probably
card.
might be on here.
Well, while you're looking at that.
I got it. I got it.
And just for disclaimers, I am an executive board member for VALE as well as is Elaine. So, and we're very excited about this program, and I think it's going to be a good thing for the entire community, especially our seniors.
Well, the VALE is, like I said, the first adult guardianship program. We have guardian ad litems for children, but we've never had an adult guardianship program. I know that Clark County set theirs up approximately 3 years ago, but Union County nor Logan County have one. They haven't got a program going yet. And we found this, we kind of founded this out of necessity because there was a case several years ago when I was working with the Adult Protective Services where a gentleman was injured. He injured himself. He attempted suicide. He was laying in the hospital in Springfield. As an adult protective service worker, I had asked the courts to just give me the permission to sign treatment papers. Well, the judge needed to find a guardian. And because we didn't have any guardians right away, it went on, and basically what the hospital did was just kind of bandage him up a little bit, keep him going until they could get the okay from the courts through a guardian that they could treat him.
Right.
Well, we're talking over a week. This gentleman was laid up. He had slashed his throat, his wrist. I think he stabbed himself somewhere. I'm not sure where, in the side or something. But they got most of that under control. But where he slashed his throat, he had difficulty swallowing and doing things like that.
Right. He needed surgery.
Right. They needed to do surgery and put a G-tube in or something. And they weren't able to do that. And they kept asking me, what do we do? And finally, I said, you need to override the release and just go ahead with your ethics committee and go ahead and get him the surgery. So they got him the surgery. We finally did get a guardian, a person that would be guardian for him, but this was after the fact. You know, right when we needed it. We can do emergency guardianships to where it'll take over right then, especially if there's a situation between life and death.
Right.
So the courts, we can do that, and we can do that through the VALE. In fact, the very first VALE guardianship was an emergency guardianship. It was a gentleman over at a nursing home in Spring Meadows in Woodstock, and they had a gentleman there that was going into surgery. He was put under anesthetic, didn't know what was going on, and they needed someone to speak for him because they had to go in and do further surgery, so they needed someone to be a guardian at that point. So that was an emergency guardianship.
Right. And these aren't, and it's not like we call up John Doe and go, we need a guardian, can you get down to the hospital and be a guardian? It's not like that. These people go, everybody who's a guardian for VALE goes through a rather lengthy training program.
Well, we started out our trainings about 1.5 years ago, and they were like we figured 3 to 4 hours. Well, that couldn't cover. I mean, we've got developmental disabilities in there. We have a mental health person talking about mental health issues and how to deal with those people. So we lengthened our training out from 9 to 3, so it's an all-day training. We provide lunch, which is a plus usually, and we offer this one in April and one in October. And this April we're having our next training, April 15th. It'll be at the Community Action Building at 955 North Main, where my office is. And, you know, we have several people sign up normally for the trainings. Then we send them a follow-up letter and remind them the training's coming. But if anyone's interested in having the training, then they can call the number there at Tri-County. The thing is, I like to impress onto people that they don't have to be a guardian right now. So many things can happen to cause people to need a guardian. That just means that you are incompetent to make decisions. What can cause you to be incompetent? You can have a stroke, you can have an accident, you know, a heart attack, illness can cause you to be incapacitated to the point where you can't make your own decisions. Guardianships are not permanent. Sometimes a person gets past that point, they become well again. They don't need a guardian. Then that goes back to court, and then the guardianship is annulled by the court.
Now, these aren't for people who, you know, have an immediate family member who is basically speaking for them. These are for people for whom they don't have anybody else to speak for them.
Well, sometimes they have family and other people to speak for them, but the people prefer not to. They're
Right.
either unwilling or unable.
Right.
Many times we might have, because we run all of our guardians through the training plus a BCI check. And we have made it a policy to do that every 2 years, just to make sure they're on the up and up. Now, some family members, I've got one coming through the courts right now from Clark County, that the family member that was guardian got into some trouble, and they do not trust this person,
Right.
this family member, to be a guardian. So they're asking for a volunteer guardian.
Okay. Now, and like you said, this is not just for elderly people. It could be developmentally disabled, or you know, it could even probably be somebody. You know, I guess people at my age have strokes. You know, I'm 50, so I guess, you know, if I had a stroke,
He's old, isn't he?
I'm actually over 50. But, all right, no.
Hey, we got you, didn't we?
Yeah, you threw me off. So, I mean, it doesn't have to, it's not necessarily for elderly people.
No.
But it is for adult people.
Yes.
All right.
Anyone over the age of 18.
And it is court appointed.
Yes.
All right. And only in certain circumstances when it's like when, you know, we need you right now, it's under an emergency circumstance.
Right.
Somebody cut their throat and you need help right then and there.
Right.
Okay. And we also have lawyers that help prepare these cases.
Ron
or-
Tompkins has been our attorney for VALE. He's
Good man.
done very well. He's donated a lot of time. He doesn't want to take the credit for it, but Ron's getting the credit for it.
Yeah.
He's donated a lot of time, and he doesn't have time to be at all the meetings, executive board meetings, but he says he still wants to continue to do that for the VALE program. So we appreciate that.
And he is a good man, a good friend.
Yes.
We get him to do our Relay for Life interviews. People just love talking to him. I don't know what it is. You just ask a question and they open up to him. So we always appreciate his involvement in the community. Now, let me ask you a couple of personal questions. What got you to get so involved with the community? What was it about being involved in, you know, not this particular group, but, you know, whatever group? You go
I
first.
just care about people. I don't want to see people taken.
Right.
You know, I don't want to see anybody get ripped off. I guess it's just a general concern for folks.
Because it's people like you who build communities.
Can try.
You know, this is what, you know, and
Yeah.
especially when you live in a small county in a small city.
Right.
You know,
Right.
we have to look out for each other.
Well, we've
We really
grown
do.
up
It's
with,
pretty
you
much,
know,
yeah.
a lot of us are family, and I think
do.
it's just evolved into, you know, the job that you did too. You know, you were,
When I worked Adult Protective
Yeah.
Services,
Sure.
that was the
Sure.
job. I guess I've been kind of born into this, working with seniors, because I was raised by a grandmother, and I worked in nursing homes for many years before I went to school and became a social worker. So, you know, and then when I got to work with Job and Family Services, and I got the job as Adult Protective Services, I said, I won't change things. So anyways, I got in there, and I just have a heart for the elderly. I mean, anyone. I have heart for people, but I particularly have a heart for the elderly
Right.
population.
And you don't get paid, and you don't get paid.
No,
I get paid
And I
a
know
little
that-
bit. I get paid a little bit, not for the salt involvement,
Right.
but yeah, to keep the program going, they needed to hire a coordinator. So yeah, there's no one else that knew the
There's
program
nobody,
better than me.
you gotta have somebody down there, answering phones and stuff like that.
And pushing the papers,
Pushing the
yeah.
papers. So, but all, I mean, that is like, not even 0.5% of what you do.
Right.
At VALE, and we appreciate it. As a one board member, chairman, I really appreciate what you do.
Thank you.
And VALE is a nonprofit, and so is SALT.
right,
All right.
right.
Now, is it known by another name? Is it known by another name? Because often I hear.
Did you hear the triad?
I hear
Yes.
triad.
Probably triad. We don't use that quite so much. I think we want to go with the SALT because that
Right.
pulls in the seniors and the law enforcement. So we really refer more to ourselves as SALT.
Triad is the
Yeah.
national group,
National group, right.
and it's all over the United States.
Right.
But we decided, since we have a triad school,
Right.
that maybe we ought to just go with the SALT Council. So we're the SALT Council, the seniors and law enforcement
Right.
together.
Okay.
So
Now, I'm going to pick on somebody
should I?
because I
now?
can. No. It's not either of them. But I want to ask you a question. I would not even know about SALT or VALE if it weren't for Dale Thompson. So I blame Dale Thompson for everything.
I do too. He gets me into more
It
things.
gets me into more things. I don't know why I get talked
Yeah.
into this stuff. But I always start out going, oh, I don't know if I want to do that. And then I end up doing it, and I love it. I absolutely love it. So thank you very much, Dale. I appreciate it. And he's good.
Yeah.
He's gonna love you for this.
I know I'm going to hear it too.
All right. All right. Well, thank you very much for being on. Did we find the telephone number?
Yes. If you want to know any more information about SALT, you can contact the Urbana-Champaign County Senior Center, 653-4022,
Okay.
Tri-County Community Action at 652-2246. You can call me at Peoples. My number is 653-1622. That's my direct line. I'd be glad to give you any information on SALT.
Absolutely.
Always happy to.
Thank you, and we're going to have to have you on a couple of times a year because you're a great interview, and we're going to have you back now that you're a veteran.
Thank you.
And one more time, the telephone number for VALE.
VALE is 652-2246, and ask for Elaine.
Okay. And now I have to do my little thing. First, I want to, before I get into the closing, we're going to make an offer to all of the candidates who are running in Champaign County. If you want to come on the show and introduce yourself to the voters, please email us, and we will happily get you a segment on our program. So we don't care what party you're in or what you're representing, but if you're running for office, we want to talk to you. And I'm sure everybody in Champaign County wants to meet you. You can always email us at urbanaleader@hotmail.com, and you can visit us on the web at urbanaleader.blogspot.com. We're seen in like 213 cities in the United States, 41 of the states, and 17 countries. So on the web. So visit us on the web. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed the program.